The summer of movies is almost upon us, as the Oscar season has served up plenty of treats and surprises to help the moviegoer make it through the post-Oscar doldrums. This is typically where movie studios would release those movies they perhaps aren't quite sure about, but seem to have served up a few treats, such as the surprisingly entertained Oz the Great and Powerful, or the enjoyable, if a tad dumb, G.I. Joe Retaliation. So, what movies lie ahead, and what will be this year's biggest hits? I've taken a look at those movies due to come out over the next few months and put them in a top 10 ranking order by what I think their box office performance will be. So, let's run the numbers. 10. The Internship. This comedy with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn looks to make light-hearted fun at the whole economic downturn, with two 40-something salespeople competing with fresh-out-of-university graduates for a role within Google. It has the promise to be something different in a world of comedy that's been somewhat lackluster of late. 9. The Great Gatsby. Baz Luhrmann is back on the big screen with this well-known book adaptation and brings his own unique visual directing style and feel to this early 20th century world. His casting is no slouch either, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Tony Maguire and Carey Mulligan all making a decent effort within this movie. Perhaps keep an eye out for this one come award season. 8. One Direction, This Is Us. Yes, you heard me right. While this movie comes out late in the run towards the end of August, it has an all-important thing, One Direction. Their fans are completely and utterly nuts. They will do anything or buy anything that is linked to them. So this movie has a shot at global monetary success. Just don't expect a superb movie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go take a shower to clean myself off for admitting that they may actually do well at the box office. 7. Elysium. The trailer's just come out for this, and it perhaps goes down for being one of the most boring and underwhelming trailers I have seen in a very long time. This perhaps won't stop its success, given that this is Neil Blomkamp's second big movie, and people have high hopes based on his work with District 9. Perhaps still an early contender for biggest letdown of the year though. 6. Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro has gone big with this one, with huge robots fighting huge monsters, making it feel like an homage to movies such as Godzilla, or maybe even those cheap 1990s TV shows. Either way, it feels action-packed and has what appears some comedy within it. However, it is narrowly missing the key July 4th weekend. However, this could be like the first Transformers movie. Enjoyable, if a tad nonsensical in points. 5. Monsters University. Dear Pixar, we'd like something new as an audience. That is not a sequel, or even a prequel, please. If you're going to do this, please can you make it to The Incredibles? This will be the third CGI animated movie from Disney this summer, with Turbo and Planes also being released. The reason why this is ahead of those two is that we all know and understand this world. Besides, it can't be as bad as Cars 2, right? 4. Man of Steel. Originally, when I drafted my list, I had this down as my number 2. However, given that it's a reboot, and that people have more of an understanding of where Batman was coming from, I don't think the audience will be behind this one. It's not within the early doors release, but it does miss the key July 4th weekend, which is crucial. And well, I think people just still have a little hangover from Superman Returns. I have high hopes for this one, and think it could be one of my favourite movies of the summer, if not the year. 3. Star Trek Into Darkness. J.J. Abrams is a man. I know people think he is a god, but he is only a man. And a very lucky one at that. He breathed new life into the Star Trek movie franchise a few years ago with this new take on the world and wasn't afraid to upset the fans on the way. This sequel looks darker, more action orientated, but losing none of the style, humour, and of course, lens flare of the first. Let's just hope his next movie does the same. 2. Despicable Me 2. Originally my number 4, this movie has a chance to really shine and take the crown of biggest movie of the year, as it has it all set up for it. A clear schedule, its only competition on the weekend is set to be perhaps one of the biggest flops of the year, a US national holiday to open on, and of course a bit of DreamWorks magic to help it. This movie should build on what was a great first outing, and fits very well with both adults and kids alike. Okay. So, before I reveal my prediction of the biggest box office movie of summer 2013, here are a few movies that I think you should keep an eye out for. Now you see me. Each summer, you always get the sleeper hit of the year that no one expected to be good, and they find it was superb. Last year, it was Chronicle. This year, I think Now You See Me will be it. This movie has Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, Michael Caine, Woody Harrelson, and Morgan Freeman, all directed by the man behind the Transporter movie. It offers a fun, illusion-based heist drama and has a few weeks clear air, after some big hitters allow it to make a wave. After Earth. This one is a risk as a dark horse, purely based on the director/writer, M. Night Shyamalan. Once a creator of brilliant movies, he's been off his game of late, but this has been a movie he has wanted to make for a very long time, and uses father-son duo Will and Jaden Smith as an on-screen father-son duo struggling for survival on an unfamiliar Earth. It has the potential to do well or tank. Only time will tell. Much ado about nothing. Last summer, Joss Whedon worked his box office charm and created the most successful movie of last year. Now, in his third ever movie as a director, he takes on showing this Shakespearean play on the silver screen, collecting people who he's worked with along the way to create what appears to be a very stylized take on this play. Never count out the fanbase here, as this one could be a real big sleeper hit. It's almost time for my biggest movie of the summer, but I thought I'd give you some quick advice on movies to perhaps avoid, as these look bad. Really, really bad. These are The Turkeys. The Lone Ranger. Not even Johnny Depp can save this one. It's been through both development and production hell and doesn't appear to have survived it very well. It comes out on July 3rd and is against Despicable Me 2, which in my view will finally put this film out to pasture. World War Z. Apparently, this is a great book, but translating it to the silver screen appears to have created a number of issues. Who knows, I could be wrong about this one, but then again, who knows what the Horde will do? 300 Rise of an Empire. Just one word. Why? Why do we need this? The first movie was watchable, but this is just an unnecessary waste of time and money. Let it be, Sparta. It's dead. Okay, so it's time for what I think will be the biggest movie of 2013. Drum roll, please. 1. Iron Man 3. There couldn't be any other movie which will dominate the box office this year. Given the role that the Avengers had last year, the previous two movies doing so well at the box office, and not to forget the hype train that is following this movie, I feel it will kill all competition at the box office this year. Do I think it'll be a good movie? I don't know. It's the third movie in this series, and we all know about the curse of the third movie. So, there you have it. That's my prediction of what I think will be the biggest movies of the summer of 2013. I didn't say they'd be great movies, but what I said is that they'll certainly rake it in the dough. Besides, once summer is over, we have a whole raft of movies to look forward to, like Catching Fire, Riddick, Oldboy, Ender's Game, Desolation of Smoke, and many, many, many more. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below or over Twitter at DrDogbert, where I'm more than happy to debate away. Oh, and one more thing. Can we please stop the scary movie series now? I think the satirical movie is as dead as a zombie.